On this episode of Grassroots Garage, we are catching up with Damon to get his experiences from World Time Attack, how the Evo performed, and where to go from here with this epic race car. You'll remember Damon from his 20B powered FD RX-7.
And his beautiful Z18 powered Datsun 1600.
Welcome to Grassroots Garage. We've got Damon again. Damon, thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, Pete.
Mate, we're trying to wrap up all that epic footage of you ripping that Evo around Eastern Creek. Take me right back to from when we saw you last. Tell me about the lead up, the morning of. Start me into the World Time Attack.
Well, really, it's 2 days. So we have a practice day, which was the Friday, and then we have the actual event, which is the Saturday. Yeah, pretty nervous, to be honest with you. I always get a bit nervous before any kind of track day, but usually once I've been in the car for a couple of laps, those nerves tend to dissipate. Friday really is just about going out and cutting laps and just fine tuning the car, making sure it's okay. The car actually went pretty well on the Friday, but we did have a couple of issues at the end of the day. It seemed to be using coolant. I don't know if I mentioned that to you when you came out. It was using coolant, and we worked out that it had a crack in the cylinder head. So I could only really run wastegate pressure, so yeah, low boost on the actual day. So that sort of limited us from turning the wick up and going as fast as we could. The car still performed pretty well, but we just couldn't boost it on the day. So managed a 1 minute 36 on low boost. Which I was pretty happy with. It wasn't my personal best. My PB around there was a little bit quicker, but was still happy to be out there, mixing it with some of those great drivers and those fast cars, and it was a great event as well. Yeah.
Evo 7s, deadly weapons, and there as well, entrant number 31, the Care 1 pound tune Evo of Damon Ashton. That's an Evo 6. Into fifth to have a crack at it. Now Damon Ashton's on a bit of a fly here, sector 1, sector 2, and he goes through for a he's better in that second sector.
I just think it's as good as motorsport can be. I think it's the purest, for me, the purest form of the sport. It's just you against the clock, you and your car together. Yeah,
100%. I think it's actually quite difficult. Look, me personally, I find it quite easy to just go out and do lap after lap after lap, but linking everything together for one lap, I'm still sort of getting used to doing that. So look, I'm hoping to give it a go next year, and hopefully we can run a car that can run full boost and try and go quicker. So I feel the car is capable of going sub 1 minute 30. Hopefully over the next 12 months I can spend a bit of seat time, and try and push the car a bit harder, and see if I can crack that 1 minute 30. So I think for next year, for 2020 World Time Attack in 2023, I think if I'm going close to 1 minute 30, then I'm a good chance of going sub 130. But I need to be getting close to that time to be even, you know, remotely in the sort of, you know, in the vicinity of placing. So yeah.
There was a lot of talk about tyres. What were your thoughts on those tyres?
Well, we run a control tyre. It's the Yokohama AO50. I love the tyre. I think they're really good. They're super grippy. They get up to temperature very quickly. They don't tend to last that. If it's a hot day, they don't tend to last that well. They'll go off pretty quickly. So you literally get sort of, you know, 1, 2, maybe 3 laps before they sort of start going off. The Pro class cars, you might have seen that they get, you know, delamination going on a lot, and that's because those tyres, they're probably at their limit. I don't think they're a great tyre for the Pro class cars, and I think that's being addressed next year. And at World Time Attack 2023, they're looking at different tyres for the Pro class cars. But I really like the tyres. I think they're perfect for open class cars, and there's at least a couple of seconds with those tyres. And certainly if you go from an old set of tyres like AO50s to a brand new set, you've probably got at least a second to maybe 2 seconds with, you know, going from an old set to a new set. But then once you've used them for 3 laps, then, you know, throw them out and put another set on, and you can maintain that 2 second advantage.
So when you campaign the car next year, what are you going to change on the car?
Maybe the driver, Pete.
Throw a pro in there, you reckon?
Yeah, throw a pro in. Look, there's still a few things that I think we'd like to do with the car. I think in terms of the aero, we've still got a bit of work to do there to get a bit more front end grip. So it does suffer a little bit from understeer, certainly on the low speed corners. So we'll try and sort of, you know, dial that out as much as possible, because there could be maybe a second there. And a new driver, a pro driver maybe, to really push it to its limit. And no, look, I really think just seat time. I just need to spend more time in the car. I just need to cut laps out at SMP and push the car and get comfortable at speed, going around, you know, corners fast. Really, yeah. Yeah,
I love that. You'd run it like there's other teams you see where the car runs twice in 2 different classes. Yeah. You throw a pro in there.
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, pro drivers, they're paid to drive cars, and you know, they can usually feel quite comfortable in really fast cars. But look, I just really, like anyone, I just need to spend more time, more seat time. It's all about seat time, really.
Yeah.
The more you drive it, the more comfortable you get, and when you turn up the boost, you know, you've got to kind of get used to that change, because the car changes really when you turn the power up. It changes the, you know, the feeling in the car and the dynamics of the car, and, you know, you need to sort of, you know, turn one, you got to, you know, really tip it into that really quickly. But it's about sort of finding the limits of that. I don't feel I've found the limits of the aero grip on that car yet. I'd found it before it had aero. I definitely found the mechanical grip limits, and then you put aero on, and you're taking it to another level, so you're able to go around corners a lot faster. I still haven't pushed it to a point where I feel like it's, you know, it's about to lose control. So it's about trying to find that edge, and just, you know, pushing through it. Yeah.
So this is a double header. Hopefully, backing up with this, we're going to check out Damon's sick little Datsun. That's it for sort of wrapping up Damon's time at World Time Attack. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and hope you stay tuned for the next one. Damon, thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, Pete.
Legend.
Appreciate it.
Stay tuned for more of Damon's motorsport journey as he chases that elusive perfect lap in that Monster Evo.